What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Raider Report, the sports talk show by the students, with the students, and for the students. I'm Spencer Grewatts, the Grizz, bringing this hot show we have for you this evening. With us along for the ride today is Bailey Abear, our lovely moderator. Bailey! And my good friend and co-host, GP Osa.
Hey, guys.
Yeah! Thank you for tuning in, and this is Raider Report.
Today we're going to start off the show like we always do with a recap of last week's predictions. First up, Cleveland Cavaliers steamrolled over Washington Wizards, 108 to 83. Looks like you guys were both right. Spencer and GP, how do you feel? First victory?
I'm telling you, it behooves you, vocabulary, it behooves you to follow my picks.
Spell
Word
it.
of the day here at
I'm not
Raider
spelling it. This is not the spelling bee, all right?
All right.
Like I always say, my picks are always sensational. Easy said. I knew it was an easy W in my part. So
You got that easy
always
dub.
never.
He had a good act to follow, good role model.
Good role model.
Are you the role model?
I am the role model.
Oh,
yes.
Lord Jesus. I can already tell I need to move on. Anyways, so our Red Raider men's basketball team beat Kansas State 80 to 71 after overcoming a slow start. You guys, again, y'all both were right about this prediction, and Tech won, so great.
Yeah,
Great time in my book.
First off, this just proves that we are not against Texas Tech, as when the entire crowd turned against us 2 weeks ago.
Because you didn't speak it into existence.
Well, it was Kansas, okay, that we were playing, and this time it was Kansas State. So we picked Tech to win, and like we expected. Now, so.
They got to finish out their senior night real strong and everything.
Really nice. Really, they were playing with my emotions. Again, I don't know why you guys do that. I already have enough women on my phone to do that. But
your mom doesn't count.
She doesn't. You're right. But like you said before, the slow start. It was a slow start, but able to pick it back up and really shine through and win the game. I had no doubt, but that first half kind of scared me a bit. But happy we got the W.
They pulled it out. Woo. They did great. Well, finally, on this last recap, Duke fell to North Carolina 72 to 76 after the Tar Heels jumped to an early lead. Spencer, that actually makes you 3 for 3 in predictions for this last week. So,
That's right.
Don't calm down.
That's right.
Let's keep it to a simmer over here. But congratulations.
Humble in defeat and humble in victory, as you can see right now. All right.
All these quotes and words.
Undefeated.
This is going to be
Undefeated.
interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Undefeated.
Spencer McGregor.
It's okay, GP, because you
The difference between me and Conor McGregor is I win.
All right.
All right?
Oh!
Here we go.
Shots fired.
And it just builds.
But how do you feel about your small little loss?
I feel pretty good. It happens. I've been doing too well. Got to soul search and come back after spring break and just come back stronger and better than ever.
That's what spring break's for. It's a perfect opportunity for college students to go soul searching. Yeah.
It's okay
But
though.
yeah,
All right.
I'll get them one of these days.
You will. You got it. Well, GP, since you came up short again this week, let's move on to something that you're good at. Tell us the not-so-news.
Thank you, Bailey. Welcome to Not So News, where every time this airs, my credibility drops harder than your girl in the club. Now let's begin.
Wow.
On Monday, Peyton Manning sets a press conference to finally announce his retirement from the NFL. Toward the end of the conference, he got emotional as he uttered his last words to end the speech. God bless the NFL, God bless football, and of course, God bless Papa John's, and everyone else that supports him financially, such as Nationwide and Meatball Marinara Budweiser. Anyway, I digress. Now, Peyton Manning wasn't the only Titan that retired from the game of hand egg. Hand egg being Football is an egg shape, so it's hand egg. Actual soccer is a circular ball, so it should be called football. But that's just one of my mouses, many mouses. I digress. This week was also big for the Detroit Lions. Calvin Johnson, aka Megatron, surprised many as he retired early at the age of 30. When he asked on what he plans on doing now in his post-football career, he said, "To find the Allspark and rule all of Cybertron." As he ascended into space with rocket boosters looking for Optimus Primes. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Wow.
But anyway, former Cowboy running back Joseph Randle got into some trouble late February as he was alleged to hit 3 people with his car and still forced his way into a home before being subdued by authorities. Really, Randall? Now you want to be a hard tackler and make positive yard gain after you get cut from the Cowboys? You're spitting out police officers and hitting civilians harder than brothers in the league. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. You ruined my fantasy. And you're doing better in jail. But anyway, hey, that's me. That's me.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and that, my friends, is not so news. Back to you.
Well, thank you, as always, GP, for your sensational segment of Not So News. Thank you.
I like the Megatron part was probably my favorite. Like that was like, you know your stuff about
I do.
Transformers.
I am a true
It's
nerd.
so
I'm
educated.
disappointed they're coming with a 4th one or
Fourth
whatever.
one,
But
and Shia LaBeouf is not
Are they
in it.
ever
They're
going to end the
spreading it out a
series?
little
Yeah,
too
no.
much.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you, GP.
Thank you.
Well, Spencer, who's your MVP of this week?
All right, so after Tech beat Kansas State during senior night, Red Raider guard Todrick Gocher proposed to his girlfriend. On top of that, he is also about to graduate with a double major in sports management and sports media, making him our MVP of the week. So here's to you, Todrick Gocher.
Woo! Let's give him a round of applause. Well, this was an exciting week in Tech sports. Our very own Tubby Smith is Big 12 Coach of the Year and a surprise post-game proposal. The guys will talk all about it in this week's Tech Corner. Spencer, GP, take it away.
Welcome to Tech Corner, which has quickly become one of our favorite segments on the show. And of course, we're going to talk about Tubby Smith. Thank you, Bailey, for introducing us. So Tubby Smith he just recently was named Big 12 Coach of the Year. And I absolutely think he deserves that. There has been some speculation about if Bill Self should have got out of Kansas. He did lead the team to the #1 seed in the nation currently and won the Big 12 and the toughest conference in basketball. But that being said, Tubby Smith took Texas Tech to a 19-11 record, who was predicted to finish last in the conference, and they ended up getting 7th and are well on their way to being a lock for the NCAA tournament.
And I fully agree. Tubby, you deserve it. And, got to show you off this T-shirt before I talk some more.
Oh, nice gear.
Yeah, what's good? What's good? Got to show it. Tubby time as usual. But, you really do deserve it. The one thing, people did debate that Bob Shelf did deserve it. But one thing is, Tubby was able to deal with a smaller recruiting class. We don't have as big as stars as Kansas does, and he's able to, the system he has and he runs in the program, it's more, in my opinion, it's better suited for us, and it's more efficient than, you see Kansas, they rely on, their stars and whatnot. And you can just show it through all the games in the season, and he's done a great job.
Absolutely. He took a team who lost a lot of recruits.
Don't have a lot of big
and
names.
Some people even transferred out of the program who he wished the best.
Yes.
Because he understands they didn't want to go through a rebuilding process necessarily, but he's turned the team around in a remarkably quick fashion. Last year, I'd said this team is still 2 years away from being to the point they're at now, and they did it in 1 year. So I was really impressed. It was a really nice job by Tubby Smith. And fans at Tech are going to love him. There's not just one coach on campus that is loved. Now there's two. And Tubby Smith, with Tubby Times becoming a slogan, that shirt, love that shirt, is becoming pretty big. So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all we have for Tubby Smith and Tech Corner. So with that, we'll go back to Bailey.
All right, thanks you guys so much for that week's segment of Tech's Corner, and we'll be back soon with a big debate. All right, welcome back, you guys. This is it. We're here with a big debate, and we're covering the same topics as everyone else this week is talking about, including Ben Simmons. He didn't meet the academic requirements, but he's still probably the #1 draft pick. So who really cares? Spencer?
I care.
Oh.
Absolutely care.
We know.
And here's why. So first off, I understand that he's put up great stats this year, and he is supposed to be the #1 pick. You know, we'll still see a lot of times these things kind of play out as we get closer to the draft. And I think one factor that will play big into that is how much NBA teams and scouts value his ability to lead. And if you are not taking care of your grades and you are not able to lead your team to the NCAA tournament, both of which he has failed at, then I think it is going to hurt your draft stock. And I say that knowing he's a great player, but for a #1 player in the draft, you're expecting him to be a franchise player in a few years, and that means the leader of the team. And you can't expect a player who can't lead his team in college as the #1 supposed to be pick in the draft to the NCAA tournament, and he can't even take care of his grades as a freshman in college. Now I understand he's an athlete, he's got lots of things to worry about, and especially with that kind of spotlight surrounding him, but you've got to take care of that. And if you're not going to take care of that, then you have got to figure out another way to get a hold of your grades. He needs to pull it up.
It's GP's turn. Thank you for that.
All right. Well, first of all, I don't care. Let's be honest here. Ben Simmons, he's one and done. If they didn't install that rule, he would be coming straight out of high school. Guys like him do not care about school. They are solely caring about the league. And the thing you said earlier about him not going to be able to produce if he can't take care of his grades. Well, Anthony Davis didn't even go to class. He had someone actually take classes for him in the University of Kentucky. And now let's see what he's doing. He's holding down the New Orleans Pelicans and getting paid a buttload of money. Time and time again, we see guys like Shaquille O'Neal came out of, no, he came out of LSU, but no, Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, those guys came out of high school. Like, we have to understand that the NCAA for basketball and other sports is almost a farm. It's like a farm team almost. He's just kind of, some guys basically see it as prepping for the league. And I mean, the only thing that if I were Ben Simmons, I would have just played abroad at this point, because you can't blame him, because being an athlete, you only have a few years of good play, and you got to maximize that, because it's all about money in the end.
Okay, so first off, you brought up Anthony Davis, who supposedly had people take classes for him.
He had a basket weaving
And guess
class.
where New Orleans is right now in the playoff picture? Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
For a franchise player, for a player who was supposed to be the third best player in the league, or in the association by a lot of people's
They're still building
standards.
around him.
And they put a lot of pieces around him, and he can't lead his team to the 8th seed in the West.
This is his third year in the league. Yes, he's a great player, and I will admit he's probably not the best leader, but still, he's doing what he's, at the end of the day.
As a franchise player, you have to be a good leader. And you're right, maybe Ben Simmons should have gone and played abroad. I am all for that. I'm not against that. I'm not against having to go to college if you're planning on going to the NBA. But if you go to college, you have one thing to worry about, and that is basketball and keeping your grades up. From what I understand, he doesn't have a job on the side.
But why worry about keeping your grades up if you know, especially someone like Ben Simmons? We're not
It's a
talking about
responsibility
No,
thing.
it's you're going to league. It's not an if, it's a matter of when. So why would you care about something
Year one.
You're going to go one and done. So what's the point of getting good grades when they're not going to matter? You're literally going to have only freshman classes.
Let's say he's getting ready to go to the draft. Okay, he has scouts looking at him. He makes a bad cut, tears his ACL. Where does that lead him academically when he has to go back to college? It's a responsibility issue.
He goes back to college.
It's a responsibility issue. If you are asked to do something, you have to do it to the best of your ability. If a coach asks him to do something like study film or something like that does not require his physical talent, you're expected to do it and not slack off.
At the end of
and
the
he's
day,
not doing that at LSU.
No, and at the end of the day, it's all about how can I maximize my playing years and get the most money. Let's be honest here.
Bailey has spoken. The bell has been rung. Well, that was a great first debate, you guys. Thank you for your lovely insight. All right.
Sure.
But enough with you two. We have other topics to talk about. Another big bit of news is the loss of Conor McGregor to Nate Diaz. The Fighting Irishman was taken down by a 25-pound heavier man than him. That was kind of weirdly worded, but he's 25 more pounds than him. But anyway, it's weirdly worded.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
It was a
people
weird
are.
fight, so.
It was. So like people are calling him out on his arrogance before the fight, and many people are saying that it's fine. So like, is he wrong without how much he talked about it? How much he talked?
Well, first of all, I just want to address this. The reason why Conor McGregor lost, I mean, if you think about it, this man went up 2 weight classes, and him losing was actually predicted by experts in the UFC and in mixed martial arts. So him losing wasn't a surprise to me because this man literally gained 25 pounds in a certain amount of time. That's nothing new. But him being arrogant, he's just trying to, blow up his character. I believe that McGregor probably is a nice guy. He just does this so he can get some extra cash. Now, the only reason why we're talking about him is because he's the old bull boy that talks all the time, So, because of that, that was a terrible Irish accent. But let's be honest, the only reason why we're talking about him is because he's entertaining. Muhammad Ali did that, and people were that's a tactic to use in sports, to get in your opponent's head, and 2, to make yourself known and make more money. Money. I repeat, money. Thank you. So
right.
you don't have to ring the bell on this one.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah, I did.
Wrapped up your point. All right, Spencer, let's see if you can do that.
So I'm gonna put it this way. I was actually rooting for Conor McGregor to win the fight, just because I wanted to see if he could do it, if he could actually go up 2 weight classes that late. And I thought he was going to do it. But that being said, you can't be so arrogant and creating your image and then lose. That hurts you in the long run, especially if you're really trying to market and brand yourself, which I'm all for. Boxing and MMA fighting and all sorts of fighting is all about branding your own image. You see Floyd Mayweather do it, you saw Ronda Rousey do it. That is how you make more money for the fight. But you can't put yourself in a situation where your credibility is lost. And if you are going to come out talking all of this smack about the other player, or the other fighter that is, and you end up losing in a way that was pretty dominant in the way that you lost, it's going to hurt your credibility, and it hurt his credibility, and I'm going to be anxious to see how many people want to keep watching Conor McGregor fight after this, and if he makes the same kind of payday.
See, people want to keep seeing Conor McGregor, not only because he's a good fighter, because he's an entertaining person to watch. That's one of the main things that's the one thing that draws us to him. I can see a lot of other fights, but there are good fights I can watch in UFC or MMA or boxing. But at the end of the day, I want to see ones that have story. People like the story, people like the build up, people like that. And Conor McGregor gives that. He gives us that,
As long as he's winning.
As long as
once he loses that story. Because
he's not undefeated. He's not undefeated. He's had nine losses.
Early in his career,
And he just recently blew up.
Once you get to the prime of your career, you've got to be on your game. You can't lose at that point.
You can't.
For
Easier
example,
said than done.
if I could go out and talk all this smack and be really arrogant and entertaining, and then go out there and not win a single match, and no one would care about who I am.
That's different. Conor McGregor had stuff to back it up. He wasn't just blowing hot air. He had beat the prior correct me if I'm wrong, the UFC featherweight beforehand, and he has a very violent.
I understand he's really good and he's really good and really talented, but when you are going up 2 weight classes, you've got to have a little bit of humbleness about you. That's the wrong word to use, really, but you can't be just jawing off.
But why? At the end of the day, why would he be humble? It's all about, like I said before, as not as nice as it sounds, it's all about
money. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. And it is completely okay to be confident with a little bit of arrogance, but he is completely arrogant with misguided confidence.
It's entertaining. I love it. If he doesn't do it, I stop watching. So
if he does it 3 more times going up 2 weight classes, jawing off like this, and then he loses 3 more times again, no one's going to care about him. It's just not going to be entertaining.
I guarantee you this man's going to go down weight classes and still win.
We're talking about fights. You hear the bell? Time's over. If I was the ref, y'all be thrown out of here. Anyways, well, thank you again for your lovely insights.
Thank you.
Anyways, finally, guys, let's talk about LeBron. Everyone keeps talking about Curry, but I want to talk about LeBron. This season, he is at a low for his 3-point percentage. He's at 28%. That's low for him. For his points per game, he's also at a low. He's at 24.9 points per game, and that's low for him. His rebounds and assists, they're kind of average, but still, he's not doing his best. So tell me, has his decline started? Is he reaching his end? Is he about to, be out of there? Spencer?
Absolutely not. In fact, what he's doing is he is finally fitting the mold, and the entire reason why he was put on the face of earth is to be the greatest point guard to ever play the game of basketball. Okay? better than Magic, okay? Better than any other point guard in the league. He has been the best passer in the league since he came into the league, okay?
I don't know.
My point, he is finally understanding that he does not have to score, okay, which not that he's finally understanding it, it's just he's coming to more of a realization of that. Because I don't know how many scoring titles he's won, I should have done more research on that, but ultimately, he's not been the scorer that Kevin Durant has. He wasn't the scorer Kobe was. He's not the scorer Michael Jordan was, but he's a better passer than all of them, okay? And he's still the best passer in the league, in my opinion. When watching him play, he makes the game flow so much better for his teammates, and he makes every one of his teammates better around him. So, absolutely, I don't think that he's at a decline. I think he's transforming his game and accepting the fact that he could be the greatest point guard to ever play the game. So.
Stop the fight. Stop the fight. Well, I completely disagree. Sorry, I love LeBron. Grew up watching him in high school and in the league when he started out in the Cavs, Heat, then back to Cavs. But old man James, he's just getting old. The way he's playing is just taking a toll on his body. That's nothing. That's his hairline. We've seen it recede, and it's just so terrible from that luscious afro in high school to what it is now. But besides the point, it's like, just to be honest, it's the way he's been playing. He's always been the guy. Early in his career, he'd always play he's a very physical player. Always dropped high numbers when he was younger, and that just takes a toll on your body. That's just common sense, and it's not necessarily the end of his career. It's just kind of, I don't think we'll see LeBron ever, get any higher than, we've seen the best of LeBron already. I feel like the hump is now on its way down. Not severely like a steep fall, but more of a, a slow decline. Yes.
Listen. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna cut you off. Okay, we don't need to do that. I'll cut him off. First off, the whole thing about her receding hairline, Michael Jordan is bald, people. Like, obviously hairlines don't mean that much because Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever to play the game, is bald.
When's the last time you saw this man with hair? Tell me that.
True, but he had to have it at one point, right?
At
like
one
he
point.
didn't. I mean, he probably came out the womb bald, but he at one point had hair. Like, okay. I know there's going to be criticism about the fact that I said he should be the best point guard because he is a small forward, but you look at. My best comparison would be Magic Johnson, 6'8", 6'9", huge, the biggest point guard when he came in the league, completely revolutionized the position. And I legitimately think when you watch LeBron play, that is a position he wishes he played. And I think he is really good at it. I think that is his best position. And when you watch him play, he doesn't always try to score. He scores when he needs to, like a point guard should, but he gets the rest of his teammates involved.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. All I'm saying is that this man is catching up. Father Time's just catching up with him. That's all that's happening. He's still going to produce. He's still going to be the main guy in the Cavaliers. But if I were the Cavaliers, I'd start looking for someone in the next 5 to 4 years.
The only average that is low for him is his three-point average, and he's never had a great three-point shot. It's always been the weakest part of his game. I'm just saying,
all you need, like, if I was the Cavaliers organization, you just have to understand that people get old. Like, that's nothing. Like, it's not a hard concept. It's not a hard concept.
Other than his hairline, it's not showing. He's still in great shape. He's still the greatest athlete in the world.
If they just if they just have him play less during the preseason, a little bit more during, kind of rest him during the bulk of the season, and then have him ready for conference, that's fine.
LeBron's always taking care of his own body when it comes to the regular season. Coming at
Give
this point
the young guys,
he will rest his own body.
The young guys the time to play.
And come playoffs, he goes off. This is no different than we've seen in the past with LeBron.
Hey, it's okay, you guys. You know what? I love that y'all are so passionate about these topics, but we're going to take a break. But everyone stay tuned because when we come back, we have a very special celebrity guest. Welcome back, everyone. This week, Broncos quarterback and Mile High Messiah, Peyton Manning, announced that he will be retiring. With us tonight to talk about it is Peyton's close and personal friend, Papa John.
Papa John's in the house.
What's up?
Thanks, Bailey. Tonight we talk about the incredible career of my friend, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's a great guy, obviously one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, and is retiring after 18 years in the league. Which reminds me, we have a new $18 deal for Papa John's Pizza.
Papa, I know you're a dear friend of Peyton Manning, but let's keep it with Peyton Manning. You're his best friend. You're supposed to be tributing him. This isn't about Papa John's. I mean, it's about Papa John because you're Papa John, but it's not about Papa John, the pizza.
Well, me and Peyton Manning go hand in hand, Spencer. I'm sure you know that,
Yeah,
right? This
exactly.
is pizza, right?
That's
I'm the first guy that he kissed after the Super Bowl. Did he kiss you after the Super Bowl? I don't think so. It was me. Now, back to the pizza.
Exactly. See,
We have
that's
a
why
new-
you're our touching tribute because you know more about him as his best friend than we do. So you're our
Well, you're
supposed to
right,
give us
Spencer.
like a monologue, like a kind of like not an obituary because he's not dying, but he's dying from the league. You know, like.
No, he's not dying. He's bringing me plenty of business. And speaking of Peyton Manning, we have a new Denver Mile High Pizza Special. And no, folks, that's not reefer on the pizza. That's just sausage.
Oh goodness, Papa, are you mile high right now? Because you're supposed to be talking about Peyton Manning.
My publicist has advised me not to
tribute.
answer that question.
This is a tribute.
Remember, folks, better pizza, better ingredients. Lack of health care and insurance for our coverage employees, which has benefited into offshore accounts and bankrolls while I secretly
Wait,
made millions of dollars. Papa John.
Hey, Papa, listen, bud, love you, all right? But what do you know about Peyton Manning? What do you think about Peyton Manning and him retiring from the NFL? As his friend, has he reached out to you about his retirement at all?
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
I don't know how they're such good friends because
I don't-
Peyton Manning is so like
Yeah,
meticulous and planned and everything, and he sticks to the script except for when he's yelling Omaha and changing the play. But that was like serious, and that was a serious audible.
I
Papa
know.
John's
I thought we
performance.
brought him on here for a
Yeah.
tribute. It felt like more of an advertisement, 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Well, from us here on Raider
You know-
Report,
It was
thank
a deal.
You,
He
Peyton
did
Manning.
give us some
Thank
valid
you
deals,
for
which I will
being
take
great.
advantage of. No, I'm
and he's
kidding.
worried about the pizza right now. You hungry?
Oh goodness.
A little bit.
Anyway,
But-
thank you so much, Papa. I think for the advertisement / tribute, you know what? Either way it goes, let's switch gears. Let's go to the boys on this week's #Doing the Most segment.
Thank you, Bailey. Halftime shows are huge in football, but in basketball, you can get some strange acts because there's so many halftime shows. On this week's Doing the Most, we have our human slinky. So I didn't.
Oh God!
I'm-
Oh God!
I'm slightly. I don't know how they're doing that. I'm slightly impressed though. I didn't know slinkies had arms and legs though.
I just want to let everyone know that I just don't. I'm disturbed. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that was like a person or just like supposed to be theatrical. That was scary. That wasn't right.
Slightly impressive.
Yeah, it just
A
made
little
me
bit
cringe.
scary.
You know that feeling? It's just ugh. I just got all tense just
Yeah.
a second ago. But anyway,
Definitely doing the most.
very. With great teams comes great benches. The Monmouth Hawks bench celebrations are, well, let's just say doing the most. Check it out.
Now this one was in honor of the season ending because they had so many great ones over the season. But these are great.
Oh my!
He was like piggyback ride.
And they're
man.
flying and then the dunking one.
Goodness, that
These-
looks crazy. I love that though. But you
Yeah.
know they tried to ban that one point. NCAA had something where they were trying to ban those
Really?
celebrations. Yeah.
They just didn't want them to have fun. I mean, those guys honestly have the best dance award. The only team that comes up to them is if you like. This is for football. Northwestern's dances after the games. Those are hilarious. But those
check
guys,
those
they know how to turn up.
Yeah, I have to check those out.
I'm gonna hit up Monmouth spring break.
And the last person doing the most is Dwight Howard and his senior photo. So Sam Decker, rookie on Houston, posted this after going through his iPad. Now, first off, Sam Decker, I hope you were okay because you were a rookie that just posted this about a former All-Star and veteran in the league who was on your team. But we do love you for doing it because this is great.
What are
Oh,
you
man.
doing, bro?
Like,
You're a grown man. Dang, you're not even a one and done. You went to college. You had the whole experience. Bro, what are you doing? This just makes you more of a child. That was hilarious.
Well, you know, if the shoe fits.
Hey. That's all.
Well, that's all for our Doing the Most. So let's head back over to Bailey and we'll wrap up the show.
Well, thank you guys for that Doing the Most segment. That was insightful, I guess, to say the least. But anyways,
Always.
before we leave tonight, let's make our predictions. First up, we have the Blackhawks versus Dallas Stars. Who do y'all got?
Wow.
A little bit of a hockey twist.
Yeah. Push it up.
Hockey threw me a curveball right there. And I'll be honest, don't know much about hockey. I'm learning. I know Blackhawks, like Chicago.
Right.
I'm going to go Blackhawks. I remembered they won Stanley Cup about 2 or 3 years ago. Last year. They did. They won it last year. Like I said. So I'm just gonna take them, and they look cool. So.
I'm the Stars started off the season really hot, and then have since kind of cooled off a little bit. But I think they're going to make a pretty big statement. They beat the Blackhawks in their last matchup. I think they're going to beat them again. So I'm going with the Stars. Go with the Stars in this one.
Blackhawks, Stars. I'm going with the Dallas Stars just because Triple D, you know. Anyways, next up we have the Thunder versus the Spurs. What do y'all think? Let's make the right choice now, you guys.
You know, I'm going to call it now. I'm going 3-0. So I know I say this all the time, but this time I'm really feeling it. That's why I'm going to go with the Spurs.
Okay.
Popovich knows how to do it. System is...
You meant 0-3?
Oh, no, 3-0, because, you know, I've been...
I'm going to second that motion and say the Spurs are also going to win.
You're trying to lose, too.
Yeah.
We all know the Thunder's going to win.
Listen, I think the Thunder are the best team to come out of the West besides the Warriors. But for this game, I'm going to take Popovich and Spurs. Listen, besides the Warriors, the Spurs are the best team in the NBA. So that being said, I'm going with the Spurs. The Spurs helped me last time my prediction, so they're gonna come out and get the dub for this one too. So.
We'll see. So both of you guys are going with the Spurs.
Yes,
Y'all are trying to lose, but it's okay. Anyways, finally, we have the Cavaliers versus the Clippers.
Wow. So Blippers. Let me think.
I think I know who you're gonna go for.
Oh, is it that obvious? Cavs, you know.
Yeah.
The dudes, the main guys.
You were just talking about how LeBron is done.
He's old. He's old, but
done.
he's not done. He's just getting older. There's nothing wrong with getting old. It's like a fine wine. They still taste good.
That's a good point.
Yeah, thank you. But that's why I'm gonna vote for the. That's why I'm choosing the Cavs. I just like them better. Clippers are still missing Blake Griffin, who's a vital part of their team. He's gonna be back, I think, in the next 2 or 3 games. So yeah.
So actually, the Clippers have played better without Blake Griffin than they did with Blake Griffin. Their offense moves better, more fluidity in the game. In fact, I believe the Clippers are 22-8 without Blake Griffin. So I am going with the Clippers. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that.
All right. Okay. So you got the Cavs. You got
that's
the
over.
Clippers.
You know, there's not much else to say. I got the Clippers.
The only Clippers that he'll be needing is, you know, shaving his head. But
so I'm not gonna be shaving my head.
Need a haircut.
I'm not gonna take a play out of your book.
Guys. Good luck, even though some of y'all predictions were a little off the wall. But good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take that. A little unorthodox, I understand.
Make sure to tune in to the next show. We will be taking a break for spring break.
Spring break.
Turn up responsibly.
Much needed break. But thank you for tuning in. This has been a great show. We'll be back stronger than ever in 2 weeks. So have a great week off. I'm the Grizz, and that's how it is.